guys, hi. So I bought this about a week ago from Amazon. It's a water filter for my shower because the water here is really hard and I'm just not about to lose my hair because of hard water. So the plan this morning is to try to install it into the shower. This is the pack it came in and this is what the connector looks like. So the filter is inside here. I have my combs because I'm going to be washing my hair in the shower this morning. Ain't nobody got time to look for a salon here. I don't even know if there is any salon here. I've not been that adventurous yet. But this is what it looks like. Okay guys, so this is me done with my shower. Like you guys can see, the hair looks really squeaky clean. Well, let's not use the word squeaky because of course I used a lot of conditioner on the hair and it feels quite soft right now. I like the way it feels. But like I said, I haven't used a water filter before in my shower, but I hope that it actually gets to filter all of the calcium in the water so that I don't get to lose my hair. Definitely I feel the water here is more alkaline because it appears whiter than I remember the water used to look like in Ireland. And every time the lady who comes to do the cleaning in the house does it, one day post clean, and I start to see a lot of lime scale all over my bathroom shower glass and the kitchen. And I just hope that this actually gets to work because I've never used it before. I used to use water bottles to wash my hair in Ireland, and I mean that got to work for me, but of course it was a lot of work to actually get my hair washed every time I had to do it. Or most of the time I'll actually go off to the salon to get it done, but unfortunately I haven't been lucky enough to find a salon here, and I'm just tired of dealing with knots on my hair. So let's hope that this gets to work. Let me see his reaction. Yes.
So what does that one do for us now?
It's called a water filter. It's supposed to help so that whenever you take a shower, your skin does not keep looking, because you're always looking like chalk, like you rub chalk on yourself after you finished taking a shower. So this is the window in my room. There's a curtain here. This was the one that was used in the apartment before we moved in, or at least the one that was used to furnish the apartment before we moved in. Yeah, you can see people going home. It's end of semester, so lots of students are heading home, but we're here anyways. Hopefully when I am able to save enough cash, of course I'm trying to stay off Amazon. I think I have a new addiction for that website. But I'm going to try to buy a new set of curtains for this window, especially something dark, because the bed is just right opposite the window and it can be very annoying, especially now that summer is about to set in, to have the sun radiate into your eyes in the morning. But in the meantime guys, I'm just going to be sitting down here to comb out my hair. Chris is supposed to be on call later today, and this is in the midst of all of this coronavirus crisis. I mean, it's not exactly, I don't know, it's not exactly the best time to be going down to the hospital, but they gotta do what they gotta do, you know. I haven't been around a hospital setting in a very long time now, at least for work. Hey, so this has taken 36 minutes of my morning time already. As you guys can see, I have finished with trying to put my hair into some little cornrows. There's always going to be that annoying one. You guys can see there's this annoying one here that's just not straight. Oh my god, I feel like plucking it out already from my head. But I think I've done a pretty good job. It took me a couple of years, of course, to be able to understand how my head, the shape of my head, and how to part it to be able to create cornrows like this. I mean, it didn't happen overnight, but I think I have kind of perfected the act of plaiting my hair by myself. So yay. Anyways, Chris has been calling my name for quite some time now because he's made breakfast already. So I'm just going to go downstairs and join him for breakfast, and then I will continue vlogging afterwards. Alright guys, so let me tell you what happened. You won't believe it, but I finished my breakfast, and then Chris was like, when he was done with his own breakfast, he was like, oh, he's coming upstairs to just take a nap. And I was like, okay, let me just try and clean downstairs. I did some hoovering and cleaning of the tables and furnitures, and all of a sudden I was like, okay, so I'm done with downstairs, let me come upstairs and also do the same thing, just for me to be, excuse me, wiping up. And then your girl goes on the floor and just lies on the, is it carpet or rug? I don't know which one it is, but I just lay down on the floor and I zoned off. I slept a very long nap, but I, like you guys can see, I have like little eye bags there, but I'm actually happy that I got to sleep because I needed it, especially because I woke up pretty early today to go to the gym. We do that every day, so I should stop complaining, but I enjoy it too. It kind of gets me alive for the day. So like I mentioned earlier on, he's going off to work this evening. I honestly do not like that he has to go to work at this time. I wish there was a way that he could stay at home, but I mean, emergency services, so he has to be at the hospital today. It's Saturday. I mean, COVID-19 is all in the air. I've been talking to a few of my friends that live in Ireland now, and it seems like there's just I pray for Ireland now. I went off to the stores yesterday to do some grocery shopping. I decided not to go out today because it's Saturday and I know that there'll be a mad crowd outside if there is any, like there are lots of people of course not working today, so lots of people walking around, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to be out there shopping. So I tried as much as possible to just buy all that I needed, at least for the weekend yesterday. I mean, the shops are not emptying as fast as they describe them in Ireland. It's not emptying fast here. We still have a lot of food items. I think the only aisle that seemed to be obviously empty here were the toilet roll and what else, pasta. Yeah, pasta was empty, gone, but every other thing seems to be well stocked in these stores. So guys, the plan now is to go downstairs and prepare breakfast for him, and while I'll be at it, I will pick up my phone and answer some of the questions that so a few weeks ago I tried to put up this poll on Insta story asking for questions to use on my YouTube videos, and I know that I should have responded to that poll a long time ago, but you understand why it hasn't happened yet. So today I'm just going to kind of do like a life update to let you guys know what's been happening in my life lately, and where exactly I've been, because I noticed like that was the major question that most people were asking, and probably try to answer a couple of questions that have been asked to me. Of course, I've asked, like, nobody should ask me questions about Ireland. I'm not the Irish encyclopedia. I don't know it all. I know that I probably know a few things. I could help here and there, but they're just some really difficult questions. Like someone was asking me, do I know if business analytics is a good course? Like, dude, it's like me asking you now, do you know if medical radiography is a good course to study in Nigeria or to study in America? Like, how exactly am I supposed to know that information? But anyways, hopefully if someone knows the answer to that question in the comment section, they could be kind enough to you. So those kind of questions, I'll probably say you could write them in my comment section on YouTube. Someone might just be super kind enough to help you out with the answer. But as for me, like you're saying like this, my husband is doctor, me I'm medical radiographer. Most of the people I know here are medical healthcare professionals, so I really don't know the people in the business. Just don't get me into that hole because it's not funny. So yeah, this is my beautiful kitchen. Yes guys, we made some progress in this new house. So of course you guys know that in my last home my kitchen was right in my living room, so at least that change came in this new house, which I'm really happy about, because at least I don't have to worry about cooking and the smell getting into my living room. Anyway, so I have this window. I don't have any blinds yet. I don't know, I've just been very adamant about getting a blind for this kitchen because I really don't think we're going to be here for a very long time. I hope not. I mean, I like the space. At least we have a cleaner. We stay in the college, so at least we can participate in college dinners, which is very fancy because they get to dress up here and go for dinners, guys. It's a big deal. Like, it's almost 3 o'clock right now and Chris is going off to work for 6. At least, no, he's starting up by 6, so he should be out of the house by 5 o'clock ish. So I can't be cooking anything too much right now, so I'm just going to make like noodles or something really light so that at least he can have something to eat before he heads out to work. Sorry, I'm just trying to stabilize my tripod with my camera here so that I can see myself clearly and talk to you guys, of course. So where are we going to start from? So the plan this afternoon, like I mentioned, is just to go through the questions that have been sent to me. I mean, I've answered a couple of them already, but I know that these are questions that can reoccur. Yeah, these are questions that can reoccur, can be sent back to me. So I'm like, let me just still answer these questions, because at least it will get to help someone who might just be thinking of sending me this kind of question again. So I'm going to be really quick about them because these are like the very serious ones. So I hope you're doing great. I have a question I'd like to ask you, please. I hope you don't mind. Is it easy and possible for someone who relocated to Ireland to travel back to Nigeria within 1 or 2 months that he came into Ireland? Say you came in this month and you need to travel to Nigeria by next month ending. Is it possible, and what may be required for you to do to travel back? So for this question, of course, in Ireland there's something called the re-entry visa. They have the multiple entry and the single entry visa. So basically what those visas get to help you do is they allow you to travel in and out of the country, because I mean, you have a work permit, so that means that your company has actually required for you to come and live in the country. So definitely there should be a way for you to go in and out of the country. So I think the multiple entry visa is a little bit more expensive, but it allows you to go in as many times and come into the country as many times as you wish. So the next one is, I am a medical doctor and I plan on studying masters in medical radiography or a related course in Ireland or Canada, and I intend to stay back and get a job. What will you advise? And please, in what school did you study medical radiography? And could someone with a medical degree apply for it? So I guess your plan to study medical radiography as a medical doctor is to help boost your chances to get into radiology as a doctor. I mean, like as a radiologist. I mean, that's a fair idea to, or that's a good way to think about it. But to be honest, I think doing a master's should only be done after you have actually practiced in a profession for some time. So first of all, I will advise that you move into the country that you intend to live in, whether Ireland or Canada or America, wherever you decide to go to. It kind of gives you an upper hand compared to someone who is just coming fresh into the country. So I will advise that first of all, you try to secure a job, and then after you've worked in the system, of course, you get to interact with consultants and junior doctors and everybody that you get to work with. It kind of gives you a better idea into what line of career you should choose, what path of career you should choose. Because I've noticed that most of doctors who come to this part of the world are usually more likely to practice in psychiatry or GP, which is the general practice, general practice. I've noticed that it's easier for them to get into those lines of careers. I don't know if I'm actually correct, but I've noticed that that's usually where most foreign doctors go into. My own advice, first of all, would just be get into the system, work for a number of years. It kind of gives you insight into what exactly you want to do, and it will help you decide if you want to do a master's or not, because sometimes you really don't even need to do a master's, to be fair. And please, in what school did you study medical radiography? I studied in what school did I study? I studied in University of Nigeria, Enugu campus. Yes, that's where I studied. And could someone with a medical degree apply for it? Yes. I mean, I've seen some of my colleagues here, like Irish colleagues, when I worked in Ireland, who had practiced medical radiography for some years and gone into medicine. And of course, some medical doctors who have also studied medicine that have moved into medical radiography. So it just depends on what you want for yourself, and of course, how many years you want to spend in school. I mean, my husband sometimes mocks or slags me and says he wishes that he actually studied what I studied, because he kind of feels like I have more time to myself for weekends and, you know, stuff like that. So it just depends on what you want and how much of yourself you are willing to devote to the hospital. So now on to the very relaxed questions here. What do you miss about being away from the motherland, which I know is Nigeria because I'm a Nigerian girl? Hello. I went to Nigeria sometime in February with my husband, and we spent like 2 weeks there. Nigeria was fun, it was exciting. Of course, we are unique in our own ways. I mean, everything that makes Nigeria great, or everything that makes Nigeria Nigeria, is all of the disorderliness that we kind of face in the country, to be fair. Because you get there and it's like, wow, I haven't experienced this in a long time, and it's just fresh all of a sudden. I mean, the traffic, no lights, the mosquitoes, all those things are just special in their own ways. I mean, it's annoying, it's frustrating, and like I always say, when you've had about enough of the government's crap, because they know how to dish a whole lot of it, it's just always important to have a visa and your passport, so that whenever you're ready, you just say, you know what, thank you, sir, thank you, ma, for giving me all of this frustration. I'm ready to leave right now, because that country can test you to your cores. But I miss community Nigeria. I miss the communal life. I mean, just being outside and being able to interact with people in a very different way. The dressing, going to church. I mean, I went to church on one of the Sundays when I was there, and it was just an absolutely different experience back home. There's just so much life in the people, optimism. I mean, we laugh at everything. I'm sure even now that there's a coronavirus, Nigerians will not be taking this seriously, because as far as they're concerned, no disease can thrive in Nigeria for such a long time. I mean, malaria, we have dealt with it for years. Do you like your new destination? How are you adjusting to your new city? How is the new place you moved to? Yes, these are the more frequent questions that I've been receiving. What country are you moving to? I'm still very curious. So, for that question, guys, I moved to Cambridge. I now live in England. So if you haven't seen the reasons why I moved, I think there's a vlog somewhere in my channel. So I moved because my husband lives in Cambridge, studying and working here. He's doing a PhD. Yay, to those who have the brains for it. I don't know if I'll ever get into that space. Like, you're having conversations with people here and everybody just wants to talk about, okay, so what are you doing here? It's more like, what are you doing here? Like, you couldn't just have come to Cambridge, because first of all, Cambridge is really expensive. Yeah, it's really expensive compared to most parts of England. So for you to come here, you have come for a reason, like to study. You can't just pack your bag and come here to live. So most of the people that you get to see around this area are people who are actually studying. So they expect to have conversations like, so are you doing your PhD? Are you doing your master's? What is it in? Are you doing research? My people, I'm only a stay-home wife right now who is trying to get by and understand this new neighborhood that she has moved into. There's no PhD going on in this brain right now, but I like it though. It's really lovely, very pretty. I look forward to the summer in this place, because we have like lakes and little water areas that people like do what they call punting and rowing. So I'm looking forward to seeing more of that in the summer. I'll say that cost of living is kind of lower. Cost of living is cheaper I mean, in as much as Cambridge is expensive, I mean, it's in the UK. Take, for instance, some days ago, I was on a train. I went off to somewhere that is like an hour away from where I live right now. Okay, let me not say an hour, let me say 40 minutes from where I live. And that's like the trip that I would have taken from Dublin to Drogheda. And I remember that trips like that in Dublin, I'll probably have paid 14 euros for that kind of trip. Now here, I only paid £12 for a return ticket. So I think they've designed their train system in a more advanced way compared to what we had in Ireland. Of course, transportation is way vast or more advanced here. They have the subway, they have the tube, they have the trains, they have the buses. I don't know if they have trams here. Maybe that might be in London, but I haven't seen any around this area though. But it's definitely different from what we had in Ireland. What else? They get to pronounce my name very well here too, surprisingly, because every time, I mean, I've been on the phone a lot with lots of agencies in the name of trying to get a job, and every time I speak with someone and they're like, so your name is Chinyere? Yes, they pronounce my name very well compared to the way my name was pronounced in Ireland. Most Irish people used to pronounce my name as Scenery, so I just used to my name is Cici. But here I think they kind of do better, probably because of the alphabets that they have, of course, and they don't have I mean, they speak English language. I don't know, but that's the way I notice. Getting a job in England hasn't been very easy for me. I mean, I probably had somewhere in my mind, okay, now I have an Irish passport, it will be quite easier for me to do. I should have started early enough to do all of my documentations, because now there's something they call DBS here, which is like GADA vetting, which I am still in the process of. And of course, if you know the GADA vetting process, it kind of takes a while for it to be sorted through. So I had to pay like £50 for a private company to start doing that for me. I hope it doesn't take forever, but in the meantime, I've been calling up, or agencies have even been calling me, because of course my CV now looks quite palatable for the market here, or very palatable for the market here. Unfortunately, because Cambridge is very small, the hospitals that I can practice are very few and far-fetched. So most of the hospitals that I've spoken with here, most of the departments that I've spoken with here are like, I just need to wait a few more months and just be patient and hold on until when there is vacancy so that I can start working. I mean, it's not been easy exactly being a stay-home wife, which, I mean, it's almost like 3 months now since I've lived this life, but hopefully soon enough something should come up, and I'll keep you guys posted about that new job, of course. What else? I think here in Cambridge they have more apartments. People move around with bicycles. We have our own bicycle already, very chow looking bicycle. I like it a lot. So whenever there's sunshine, of course, I just drag Chris out and I'm like, let's go ride. But today there is no sunshine, so we're back home. And making friends, I haven't exactly been lucky enough. I mean, I'm not exactly enthusiastic about the idea of making friends, because I noticed that after leaving Ireland, I don't even have Irish friends, in the sense of I don't have people who are actually keeping, I don't know, like I have acquaintances, I have people that I, of course, once in a while buzz, but there's not that Irish person that I'll say, oh, I can actually call up and be like, okay girl, this is what has been happening, or like she calls me or he calls me. I don't have that kind of, I didn't have that kind of relationship, and that's something that I am going to be very conscious about here. I've decided to be more intentional when it comes to making friends, so that even if I have 2 or 3 friends in this country, they're going to be friends that I will call my ride or die people, like people that know who I am, that can buzz me at any time of the day. I hope I actually get to that point of building relationships with people, because I mean, that's something that is definitely lacking in my life right now, and I'm not exactly finding it so funny. So what else is here? My question is to ask you not to stop YouTube. It will break my heart. I'm so sorry for the hiatus that my channel got to suffer. It was necessary. I needed to just take the break. It was very important for me. I hope you guys actually understand. Anyways, how do you see your YouTube channel in 5 years time? In 5 years time, let's see, maybe our PhD graduates would have, or PhD students would have finished his course, and he can probably chip in a few things into this channel to help the channel see whether we can have some brainstorming here. I don't know, but or we could have some little bambinos running around by God's grace. What else could be happening in my YouTube channel? Maybe it might take a different line of discussions. We might just have something different. I'm thinking of being more, well, not being more vulnerable, but like bringing more real stories to my YouTube channel. Like I'm trying to incorporate some things that are actually happening in my life right now into my YouTube channel, not just talking about a country and what is happening there and everybody's insulting me as if I'm their prime minister. What has been your greatest challenge in trying to find a balance with what you want and what is best for your hobby? So this was sent by my friend Afoma, who lives in Mexico, and I guess she's sending me this question because I have been a travel around wife with my husband, because we moved from Nigeria, or I moved from Nigeria to join him, and then now I moved from Ireland to join him here. Trying to find a balance, of course, has to do with good communication with you and your spouse. I mean, it's something that gets to happen to most women. We travel to join our spouses in these countries and we lose our identity. I mean, it's not the easiest, especially when you haven't exactly started working in the country where you have found yourself, because of course everybody has their aspirations and their dreams and they want to get to this new country and try to achieve as much as they can. But I mean, some women get there and the first thing that gets to happen is they get pregnant and life just gets to happen to them. So I think it's just about coming to a compromise. Both of you just have to discuss and make sure that everybody is kind of feeling like they're equally treated in the relationship, because it's not exactly the easiest of spaces to be. If you're not careful, there could be acrimony that could come into the relationship, and it's not exactly a very good space to be in. So I think that is it. If you had one advice for people in this coronavirus times, what will you advise? What will you say it is?
Wash your hands, disinfect your hands as frequently as possible. If everybody's hands are clean, if everybody maintains proper hygiene, then there wouldn't be any problem with shaking someone. problem with shaking someone is you don't know if their hands are clean, or you don't know the last time they washed their hands.
Okay.
So in fact, ideally what we should have, you know the way when you come into hospitals,
There are the disinfectants,
all over the place.
But then I heard, like the hospital where I used to work in Dublin before, I heard that they hid their hand sanitizers because people were stealing them.
People steal things from hospitals all the time. It's not the first time.
Oh, okay.
Don't people steal cleaning agents? Don't people steal toilet roll? Coronavirus has nothing to do with people stealing. People always steal from hospitals. That's a normal thing. Even people who are drunk come to hospitals so they can drink alcohol gel. So stealing from hospitals is not a big deal. People always steal. That one is an issue.
Okay.
It's an issue with security. You need to figure out how to stop stealing. The point is, every building, public building, school, library, classroom, whatever, hotel, restaurants, they should all have hand gels, just the way they have hand gels in hospital. Hand hygiene should be something that is widespread everywhere, whether it's hospital or public place. If, for example, you wanted to enter a restaurant and before you enter, you collect hand gel and wash your hands. Or you want to enter a classroom, you wash your hands before you enter. Or you want to leave the classroom, you wash your hands. Then you won't have to remind people to wash their hands. You won't have to remind people to not shake hands because everybody's hands will be clean already.
Okay.
So that's the key thing there. Hand gels, hand sanitizers should be in every public building, entering or going out.
Okay.
And if that is already being practiced, then whether it's coronavirus or flu virus or whatever virus that decides to come in 2025, you'll be ready for it because hand hygiene is already taken care of.
Okay.
So cleanliness is next to godliness. That's how you prevent diseases. That's how you fight Ebola. That's how you fight cholera.
Can I ask you a second question? What do you think about the whole idea of keeping healthcare workers going to the office or going to the hospitals, like everybody going to the hospital at this time, instead of like rationing the number of healthcare workers going to the hospital?
You can't ration essential services.
Okay.
There are essential services that you always need to survive. Police, ambulance, healthcare workers, military. You need all those services to function. Whether there is a war, whether there is an apocalypse, whether there is a pandemic, it doesn't matter what it is, those services must keep running. If not, there'll be total chaos. It will be worse by the time we come back.
I know.
So that's the key thing there. You need those essential services. Of course, if people fall sick, then they shouldn't come and infect other people while they're providing care for them.
Which is why I wish I could lock you up inside the house with me.